Hello.
Perfect, and you can hear me?
Yes.
All right, Flap has arrived. All right, let's give one more shout out that we're starting and we'll get going. All right, everybody. We have the bird situated, our special guest situated, Kristen situated, so we are ready to get started. I believe we may or may not be recording.
We are. It should be.
We, all right, she's checking the recording now. All right, great. All right, well, thank you everyone for coming out to the February live event. We have a few little updates and details, then we're going to go on to our special guests and our very special plan that we have for them, of which neither guest is aware of, so it will be 100% surprise. Okay. You think it's good?
I think we're good.
All right, Crystal thinks it's good. Okay. Happy February, everybody, and end of February here anyway. So, a couple of small notes for February. I finished all my rewrites for Secrets of a Royal Guard. It is going through final editing now, and then we should probably have something ready to go in a month or two. Covers done and all that good stuff, so that's kind of exciting. Off to you, Crystal. Anything that you may have?
I haven't made a lot of progress with the next chapter of Hopes. I pretty much got it halfway and then didn't make any more progress after that. So I will hopefully be getting to that soon. Vale, I know a lot of people are asking about that. We're making our way through the first draft of the second arc. I'm hoping to have something soon, but I can't really make any promise on that because it's a it's a very fun but also very important big arc, so there's a lot going into it to make sure that it conveys everything correctly. I will say, however, relatively soon I will have a new story posted. It's a one shot, and I think you guys will either love it or absolutely hate it. So that should be fun.
There you go. And I have started preliminary work. I'm going to get back to work on writing, like new writing. So pleased to announce that probably my next story, which will be a decently long one, but not, again, not a serial, will be a Sunny Day story. No, the one she's talking about isn't like the Mask sequel. It's a humor one shot.
Oh yeah, this is a comedy, which is always a risk because everyone's sense of humor is very different. This is just a stupid fic. Let's go with that. It's stupid humor.
Very good. All right, so our special guest today who, again, does not know exactly what we're going to be doing for today's shenanigans, is our personal trainer and dear friend, Stephanie. Stephanie has agreed to come and join us today, having never done anything like this, doesn't really know a lot about ponies, so this is in the same vein of Not My Fandom, the Roku story. So if Stephanie wants to say hello.
Hi, everyone.
Excellent. And apparently Erie called it. Apparently he knew who it would be. So is Stephanie on the right channel to where she can see people talking to her?
Yes, I am, and highly overwhelmed by all the comments.
Okay, so you can see lobby. Very good. Very good. All right. So as we've warned yes, go ahead.
Hi. So, Stephanie, is this like your first experience doing something like this, having a whole bunch of internet strangers talking to you?
Yes, absolutely.
Very good.
I wish I could describe her face right now. It's very much like a kid's first trip to Disney, and it's like not quite the Disney they expected, but it's still pretty cool.
We're all creepy internet people.
All right. So as y'all know, we're very big on playing silly, older style television games, right? So we play the match game, we play all things like that. So today we're going to play the Newlywed Game. Now, normally this would be based on Kristen and I. However, today it's going to be based on Stephanie and Mango because, as Kristen's about to explain, by bird law, they're actually married.
Yes, there is a sacred bird tradition that I myself, despite having had Mango in my family for quite some time, was not aware of because she had never done this before. One day, Mango, who had previously expressed a strong interest in our trainer Stephanie, climbed down her cage with a potato chip that she had somehow hidden somewhere in her cage and stored for this specific moment, climbed down, walked across the floor, and delicately laid the potato chip at her feet. And they are now bird married.
I was
Yes.
very honored.
So yes, according to bird law, they're married, and Mango has been doing everything in her power to get Stephanie into her birdcage.
So she's currently Mango, not Stephanie. Stephanie is sitting in a chair. Mango is sitting on my knee. And Mango is doing everything she can to like try to sneak over closer to Stephanie. While we were trying to have where I said Mango wouldn't stay on her cage. She was literally climbing down her cage to run across the floor to Stephanie.
Yes. So for those of you that are not old enough to know what the Newlywed Game is, it works like this. A host, also known as someone by my name, like me, will ask a question, and then secretly both spouses will write down an answer, and then we have to see if they match, and then we laugh at their misfortune. Now, since Mango doesn't quite speak perfect English, Kristen is going to try to answer how she thinks Mango thinks Stephanie thinks. And that's what we're going to go with. So we'll just kind of give a simple example. And so Stephanie, we're going to put you on the spot here. So I will say it. Kristen will type an answer before you say anything. Then you'll say your answer, and Kristen will press enter and put her answer into lobby. So for a simple starting question, very simple. It's complete this sentence. I knew I found the bird love of my life when she blank. So Kristen's going to type down what Mango would say.
Now, to clarify, Stephanie is theoretically the one on the spot to answer these questions. Mango has to answer how she believes Stephanie will answer. So I have to answer how Mango believes Stephanie will answer so that their answers will match and get a point.
Correct. So you're going to write that down now. It's not as complex as we're making it seem, folks, I promise. I think I'm more of a Bob Eubanks, really. I mean, in my opinion.
Okay.
All right.
Mango is ready. She whispered it to me. I heard it.
All right, Stephanie. So again, just a reminder. Your question is, complete the sentence. I knew I found the bird love of my life when she blank.
Proposed to me with a chip.
Okay. And Mango said, okay, so that's a match.
When Mango gived me a potato chip. That's what she said to me. That's what I heard.
Okay, so that's a point for the newlywed. They're doing very, very well so far. Although I don't know if they're well, yeah, they're still newlywed. We learned, so sad story. Crystal and I learned that after you've been married 5 years, you are no longer newlywed. So now we're just married.
It's really boring. I want a divorce.
Me too. Okay, second question. Stephanie, and again, but first Mango for Stephanie, as Stephanie would think through Crystal. Who was interested in bird marriage first? You or Mango?
Mango.
Mango was.
Okay. Very good. All right. These get harder, by the way, folks. We just got to like start soft so Stephanie doesn't run screaming from our house. All right. Okay, now it's getting tough. Now it's getting tough. This is where the real grit comes in and we test their relationship strength. If Mango could get rid of one thing about you, what would it be?
Okay, Mango's ready. She answered real quick on that one.
The fact that I'm not in the cage with her.
Ah. Mango said other boys.
Oh my, yes. Mango takes exception that Stephanie occasionally sees human boys. Well, a little tension there.
Mango was very upset when she found out Stephanie went on a blind date, and it wasn't with her.
Uh-huh. Mango also did not understand what a blind date meant. She thought it meant walking around with blindfolds on.
Yes, she really wanted to do that.
I did explain, though, that I already said I was in a committed relationship with Mango to this blind date, though.
Which Mango appreciates. She acknowledges that, but she still wants to get rid of the other boys.
All right, so now this one is the reverse. Stephanie, if you could get rid of one thing about Mango, what would it be?
Okay.
That she keeps trying to bite me anytime we get close.
Nothing. Burb is perfect. No points. Mango is very certain that she's perfect. Her biting is how she expresses her love, Stephanie.
I'm sorry, that's not exactly how I express love.
You know what? This is actually going exactly how I imagined it would. All right, let's see here. Oh, now it's gonna get sweet. Stephanie, where would Mango take you on a honeymoon if she could afford it?
Okay, here, we're going to talk to Mango. You guys can listen in. It's like, Mango, okay, I know you really haven't really been anywhere. You don't really travel much. You're not really aware of places outside your birdhouse. But come on, I need you to think here. Where would you take her? Huh? Okay. All right. If you're sure. If you're sure.
All right, Mango has locked in her answer. And Stephanie, where would Mango take you?
The rainforest.
Aw, see, Mango? This is why you need to be more worldly. She said it's her bird cage. It's the best place.
In a few weeks, Ansel will find his bank account completely drained and a voicemail from Mango explaining how she and Stephanie are in Africa. Which, of course, will be a trick because they'll actually be in Brazil.
Mango actually laughed at that.
She did. She did. All right. Great question. It's karaoke night. What song will you and Mango sing together? All right, Mango. Which will it be? What will you sing with Stephanie?
No, we got okay. You got it. You ready for this? Are you sure that's the song? I don't know. Okay. Okay, she's sure. All right. She's sure.
Who's a pretty bird?
She actually tried this time because the birdcage didn't work, and she said, "Come fly with me."
Mango, we have never heard that song. You're not playing the game right. Oh, she doesn't like that.
She is so offended.
She is actually offended right now. It's really interesting. Okay. All right. Next question. Stephanie, what is the silliest thing that Mango has done in your presence? Not that we've told you about, because we know there's a ton.
Okay.
When I was watching her all by myself, she sang and entertained and was being a good bird, and then suddenly dismissed me very harshly and would say nothing but goodbye until I left.
Mango says that that wasn't very silly, but she also says she doesn't really remember if this happened while you were there, where she knocked off her box and then looked really upset about it.
You told me about that one, though.
Oh, okay, that was a telling. Whoops.
That's a point for Stephanie, minus 2 points for Mango.
Yep, minus 2 points for Mango.
All right. Stephanie, what is Mango most afraid of?
Okay, Mango, what are you scared of? You look pretty content right now. I don't really know. What are you scared of? Okay. All right. If you're sure. I don't think she's gonna guess that. Okay. Okay, that's okay.
Bigger birds.
Ah, it's a good one. Mango said the construction noise.
Both accurate. Both accurate. All right, Stephanie, what is Mango's favorite word?
Okay.
Bird.
Oh, Mango.
What
She
it-
said it was Mango.
Oh, I think it's bird.
No, bird's a good one, or router. She
Mm.
didn't even think about router.
Oh my goodness, Mango, you are not like this is embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
You're not very good at this.
Yeah, when Kristen and I played, we got a lot more. Now, granted, we could both speak English, so and it wasn't through an interpreter, but still. All right, so this one should be a fairly like knocked out of the park. Stephanie, what is Mango's favorite treat?
Chips.
Yep. Potato chips that I misspelled. It's really hard translating. It's an inexact science.
Okay. All right. Can you name all the colors Mango has in her feathers without looking at her while she's right there?
Yeah, no looksies. Mango knows all the colors she has, but do you?
Does Mango know all the colors Mango has?
Mango spends a lot of time preening. She is very intimately familiar with her feathers. Okay.
Green. Lighter green. A little bit of yellow. I think that's it.
Oh, Stephanie.
Come on now, Stephanie.
She's got the red and blue in her tail and wing feathers.
You're right.
Mm.
She's very upset. Look at this. She's giving you the cold shoulder.
Oh, she is. Wow, you're getting the butt. Okay. All right.
Stephanie doesn't know Mango's most intimate places.
Oh, whoa. Lewd.
Burn.
All right. Stephanie, what is Mango's favorite song to sing?
This is a good question. Mango, this isn't what your favorite song is. What does Stephanie think your favorite song is? Okay? You got
Yeah, Mango doesn't quite understand how the game's played.
No, I know. I mean, look at her. She's kind of dumb. Don't tell her Wi-Fi said that.
Why would Wi-Fi say that?
Go to your room. Okay.
Who's a pretty bird?
Mango. The Lovin' You chorus.
She only sings that she's a pretty bird to me.
Is that see, Mango, see, she's trying to keep her private life with Stephanie private, and she's not divulging this information to me. So that's the problem. Is Mango's trying to be shy. Mango, you gotta let us in. You gotta let us into your private life.
If she's saying anything else, I wouldn't know how pretty she is.
That's fair. I mean, it's not like you can look at her.
All right. All right. What is Mango's favorite lullaby? I know this one.
Okay, Mango's. Look at her. She's pretty calm. She's pretty sure she's got this.
I wouldn't be so sure because I can't think of a single lullaby right now.
It's okay. Mango has faith that you will pick the right answer this time.
Is it still that Who's a Pretty Bird?
Wait, I got this now. Who's a Pretty Bird? Mango figured out the game.
Good job, Mango. Yay. All right. We've got this figured out, May. All right. All right. So this one, I don't know if Stephanie knows, and that's okay because she would never use it. There is an artifact of legend. It is the object that scares Mango most when she is misbehaving. We may have told you about it. Do you remember the name of that object?
A spray bottle?
Ah, no, it's the artifact of legend, Excalibur, the giant, not construction paper,
Wrapping paper.
wrapping paper.
Wrapping paper roll.
Wrapping paper roll.
It is the most scariest thing. That and Excalibur 2. Because Excalibur broke, so we had to have an Excalibur 2. But the spray bottle is definitely up there. All right, let's see here. What is Mango's favorite activity?
Okay, Stephanie.
Playing in and destroying her boxes.
Oh, Mango. I don't know. Does Stephanie know I love to fold the laundry? Burb now doubts own life.
Mango, that's a bad answer. You know very well that boxes are your favorite thing until they're not.
Well, right now she doesn't like boxes.
Oh my gosh. I feel like you're just setting your wife up for failure, Mango. You should be ashamed.
She says this is an opportunity to grow and deepen their bond.
Whatevs.
While she preens nonchalantly.
All right, Stephanie. Do you know what Mango's favorite drink is? I'll give you a hint. It's not water.
It is not water.
Well, it is my last name, so coffee.
Yes, coffee. Yes.
Bonus question. Do you know Mango's favorite soda?
Do you?
I don't, but I'm going to go with Coca-Cola because, it looks like coffee.
She has become addicted to Mountain Dew because of our friend Patrick.
She wants to do the do. And so now so she also tries to get ginger ale because she thinks any green can is Mountain Dew.
Yeah, he let her drink from the little, like when you drink from a can, there's a little bit on the rim. Yeah, he let her have that and she became addicted.
Yes. Okay. I think Stephanie might know this one. And let's find out if Mango knows. But first, Stephanie, how many siblings does Mango have?
Okay.
I know you mentioned one other, so I'm going to go with one.
Yes. His name is Birdo and he is my alter ego. We call him Mangahandro.
Mango, how many siblings does Stephanie have?
Oh, Mango, do you know this? Okay. I'm trying to figure out how I can get her to count. Okay. She tilt her head one way. She tilt her head two way. She bit me, so she's saying 2.
I have 2 siblings.
Good job, May. You're paying attention. Okay, Stephanie, big time. How old is May?
Okay.
So the two of you ask this a lot, and you keep coming up with like either 13 or 15 or 16, so somewhere in that ballpark. So I'm gonna go with 13.
13 in human years, but old enough to be a supportive bird husband wife.
And all right, I wonder. So when Mango is at the office, she doesn't go by Mango. She goes by another name. When I talk about that, I mean when she's at the box office. What is her professional name?
A box office. I love it.
Yes, I know I'm very clever. Thank you very much.
Mango's getting bored because this one is too easy for Mango.
This one's not easy for Stephanie, but I'm gonna go with Bird.
Ah. It's Deconstruction Birdie.
No, it's Demolition Birdie.
Demolition Birdie.
Mango, you
But
don't even
Mango
know.
got it wrong. Mango got it wrong, so.
Mango, you don't even know your own name. It's on your business card. Well, yes, you've chewed it off, but it's Demolition Birdie, and your professional tagline is "I'm gonna wreck that blank." Starts with an S. All right, so final question on the game before we move on to Adam's game, which is also going to be a surprise because I didn't tell anybody here what we were going to do. Stephanie, how many pull-ups can Mango do?
Okay.
In my presence, she's done 5 before, so I'm gonna go with 5.
Whoa. When did she do 5? She usually only does one at a time.
She got really excited one time, and Adam kept being like, pull up, pull up, pull up. I think she was trying to impress me. This was before she proposed.
Oh, see that Mango doesn't have a good memory. She doesn't want to let you know that she can do 5 because then you're going to expect her to do 5, and she's really lazy.
All
She's
right.
trying to set expectations pretty low.
So I'm going to go ahead and say here that as a couple that has been married less than a year, y'all may need to work on this a little bit. But yes, all right. And that is the match game. So now we're going to turn it over to the live chat people. And
The newlywed game. Get your game show
newlywed game. My bad. We're going to turn it over to the live chat. And what's that?
I was just reading the comments and enjoying that Mango would be competing at the next Olympics.
Oh, yes. Well,
since she does Birdie Olympics.
She does indeed do Bird Olympics. That is true.
And she does them best when Stephanie watches.
That is also true. So the next question is basically into the lobby channel. Try not to go too quick and nothing inappropriate, folks, but you can ask Stephanie one of 2 types of questions. One, you can ask her pony questions, and I would suggest you keep them easy, and she's going to make up answers that she believes are credible. Or 2, you can ask Stephanie a question about us, and she will answer it. So a third party that you've seen. So yes, go ahead and toss her some questions, and then give it a break, and toss her some questions and give it a break. But yes, so she will make up credible answers for ponies as well as questions for us. So the first question for Stephanie is, and remember, you just make stuff up, or based on what you've randomly heard us say, who is your favorite princess from My Little Pony?
I know there's a pony called Sunny Days or something like that, so I'm going to go with that one.
Perfect. Princess Sunny Day. That is perfect. That is by far the best princess. Actually, you get points because that is in fact one of my characters. So and she is princess adjacent. So there you go. I give it new questions. Okay. All right, Stephanie, you've been asked if you know, describe the contents of our refrigerator.
So they always have almond milk, both in chocolate and in vanilla. And then normally they have some of Kristen's protein shakes in there. And then since I always eat turkey burgers, I'm going to take a wild stab and say that they've got some turkey burgers in there. Beyond that, I can't say that I've snooped too much to see what's in there. But, almond milk. There's a lot of that.
Everything she said was 100% correct.
Yes, we keep a lot of almond milk on hand.
All right, this question's for Mango, so Kristen will have to answer it. Mango, what did you think when you first found out about Kristen and Ansel's stories?
I think it's for Stephanie because she's speaking through Mango's
account.
account.
Right. Okay, so Stephanie, what did you think when you first found out that these supposed adults that you were working with wrote pony stories?
I was fascinated because I had never really heard that much about My Little Pony before. I did skim Kristen's first chapter.
That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. All right. Stephanie, what's the most embarrassing exercise thing you've seen one of us or both of us do?
You know, they don't really embarrass themselves exercising, but they do tend to hate me when I tell them to run stairs and alternate wall sits.
Fact. All right. This question I don't think we can answer because this is not kind of how we exercise. So you can approximate how much can Crystal bench?
We do a lot of body weight training and some dumbbell training for chest, and I think we had her do 2 10-pound dumbbells last time we did any sort of chest press. So that was a lot of reps. So I would say somewhere in the vicinity of probably like 50 or so pounds.
Yeah. That's more than I'd give myself.
Okay. Who would win in a fight? Crystal, Ansel, or Mango?
Mango.
You gotta root for your bird husband wife.
I could take Mango, but that's fine. I respect the answer. All right. Any more questions? You guys have the rare opportunity.
I think part of the problem is Stephanie is such a nice person that she's like not going to answer like the embarrassing exercise questions. She's gonna save face for us, which I appreciate.
All right. Do you use paper or plastic, or do you bring your own bags to the grocery store?
I bring my own bags to the grocery store. I don't like to waste.
We continuously buy our own bags to bring to the grocery store and forget them. Occasionally we use it.
And then send home stuff in them to me, and then I forget to bring them back to you.
That is also true.
We
But
kind of spoil Stephanie like a child, also that also is more adult than us and also keeps our lives on track.
I mean, I will say you are my favorite personal training clients. Who else gets me cups and pins and socks and anything I can
Aw.
imagine?
Yes, we're the favorites.
that is awesome. She's our favorite child. Oh, okay, that's a good one. Who complains the most during workouts?
I think it depends on what is I told them to do. Anytime I say stairs, Kristen complains. I actually don't know. I can't think of a specific thing that Adam's complained about before. Normally,
It's
if it's
me.
anything that I give him legs. If it's upper body, he's happy. If it's legs, not so much.
Also fair. Let's see here. Do you have a sanitized, safe to tell, embarrassing exercise story about you or anyone that you would like to share?
Let's see. I have definitely worked in a gym for a long time, so I see certain embarrassing stories, but I try not to judge. I will say, probably one of the most embarrassing stories about me starting out as a personal trainer. I was at my gym, and I was working all alone, and this guy decided to start bench pressing without a spot late at night when I was the only person there. And he was lifting way more than he could have, and so he has the bar on his chest, and I come running over, and I can't get the bar off of him because I'm a pretty small girl, and he was lifting a lot that he shouldn't have been lifting without, and it was definitely a moment of panic of like, holy crap, like, I need to get a lot stronger.
Aw. That's actually really sweet.
It is. How did you ultimately resolve the situation?
Another person ran over and helped me lift the bar off of him.
Very good.
He's a lucky guy.
He is a lucky guy.
Yeah, it was also not so smart, lifting when there was only one female on shift. Just a thought.
Yeah. No, hopefully he didn't do that again.
I actually never saw him in the gym again, so he may have run away.
I was about to say after that, I doubt he came back. All right. Or he died. No. No. All right. This is kind of a tough one. Have you seen Crystal socks? Now, so you have to understand, now Stephanie collects socks too. So I'll change it. How big is your sock collection?
I embarrassingly have 3 drawers of socks, so really, really massive.
I love it. I aspire to be Stephanie's level of socks, shoes, personal wardrobe, personal fitness, general life outlook, general adulthood, having it together, and interior design sense.
And how much she's loved by Mango.
I've given up on that life goal.
Fair enough. All right, Stephanie, do you have a preference of car vendor?
Well, I drive a Mazda. I'm pretty sure that's not very cool though. But my dad has a Ford, so I'll go with Ford versus Chevy. Ford over Chevy.
All right.
As in the room with 2 Chevy owners.
That's right. Thought we raised her better, but whatever. No. Okay. So of ponies, what is the best kind of pony? A unicorn, a Pegasus, or a regular pony?
Definitely a unicorn.
And why are unicorns the best?
Because they're the prettiest.
So wow, that's the facts. I guess so. I mean, we all know that unicorns are by far the master pony race, and that Earth ponies are nothing but dirt ponies. But you know, hey, it is what it is. Oh, that's got a lot of people typing.
What is your favorite sandwich filling?
What by definition is a sandwich filling?
Well, it depends on if you're a, what is it, structured sandwich. Someone grab the sandwich chart. There's a sandwich chart.
All right, the sandwich chart. Let's take a look at this.
Thank you.
Oh, yes. Oh, this is true. And Stephanie, if you're not aware, this is a big deal on the internet of what's the definition of a sandwich, right? So, the big thing is, you know, is a hot dog a sandwich? And so this sort of talks about, you know, the far left top right, I mean, the far top left is the hard line, and the bottom right is the most liberal, where somehow a Pop-Tart is a sandwich.
I mean, technically, I would say if a cheeseburger counts as a sandwich, cheeseburger is definitely going to be my favorite. But on a more traditional sandwich, I do like egg salad, which is weird and unusual, but egg salad.
And I would say, for me, I've got to be a hardline traditionalist or a structural neutral ingredient purist, one of those two, because when I look at this, nothing else on there is a sandwich.
I agree. I'm a hardline traditionalist as well.
See, but I think ice cream sandwiches count as sandwiches. I don't think Pop-Tarts count as sandwiches.
So here's the next question then. Let me ask you this, just hypothetically. If I were to take a donut, cut it horizontally, so not like a bagel, but like right down the middle, then I put jelly on the 2 tips and then squish it back together, is that a sandwich?
No, but I think if you cut it like a bagel and put jelly in the middle, that's a sandwich. Ooh.
Oh my. Oh my, okay.
These are some pretty radical ideas going around here.
Well, I think it bases off of how you actually would have to then eat it. Because how are you possibly going to get that donut to still go in your mouth as a sandwich?
That's fair, and I think that is a fair way of looking at it. Okay.
So you're saying if I'm like, hey guys, let's go get sandwiches for lunch, and I bring out some ice cream sandwiches, you're not going to complain.
As long as I have my Lactaid with me, I'll be down.
Which reminds me, Michelle found the most lazy cake that we've ever seen, and it was amazing. So here's what you do. This is just a free tip for today for everybody. Step 1, you open like 4 ice cream sandwiches and you lay them in like a Pyrex pan. Then you slather them in an ice cream flavor of your choice. Then you put 4 more ice cream sandwiches on top of that, slather that with an ice cream of choice. Then I think it was 1 more row of ice cream sandwiches. Then you drizzle chocolate over it, then you freeze it all, and it is now an ice cream sandwich cake.
I feel like that doesn't count. So she found that in a recipe like cookbook magazine. I'm like, that's not a recipe.
That's a hack. That's not a recipe.
Exactly.
Agreed.
I mean, yeah, like I agree. I would eat it as well. I just wouldn't call it a recipe.
All right. That is true. That is very true. Okay. So we've got about 20 minutes left today. Then we are gonna.
There was some more questions.
Uh,
We also have the questions on the forums.
I wasn't closing us with thus. We have about 20 more minutes.
Well, then whatever.
So we're going to go to the forum for those questions.
Oh, but there is one more question for Stephanie.
All right. Where is that?
Do you have any pets?
I do not have any pets. I am allergic to cats and dogs, unfortunately, and I've learned through Mango that birds are a very interesting pet to have.
Interesting is a nice way to put it. Do you have a favorite sport?
So now we're getting into the definition of a sport. Because if you consider dance a sport, which I consider it half a sport because it is also an art, so it's very complex. But seeing that I was a dancer for approximately 22 years, I would say dance. But if you're claiming that dance is not a sport, then probably gymnastics. But I also enjoy watching things like football and soccer and rugby and more traditional sports as well.
Is figure skating and/or ice dancing a sport?
That's a great question. I also love ice dancing and pretty much the entire thing that I've been watching this Winter Olympics. I would say it's probably even more of a sport than dance is because that's hard.
That's fair. All right, turning to the forums.
Do you come over to Adam and Kristen's house mainly for their exercises or for Mango?
Definitely half and half, a little bit of both.
That's a fair answer. Considering Mango literally throws herself on the floor to run to you, that's a pretty good motivator to want to be somewhere. Unconditional love.
Mm-hmm. Assuming it is unconditional, she does feed her a lot of chips.
That's true, I do bribe her with the chips.
But that came after the proposal, so that's just the potato chip on the potato chip cake.
This is true, but she knows that if she'll hold out and sing for me more if I give her a second chip, so it's a little bit of both.
So would you characterize your relationship with Mango then as slightly manipulative?
Most definitely.
And how does that make you feel as a spouse to know that your spouse is somewhat manipulative?
I mean, it's an interesting situation to have, but you know, interspecies relationships are a new thing in the first place, so I think we're really just testing waters here.
I love this.
Fair. That's fair. All right, let's turn to the forums for questions.
What is the best 90s jam and why is it All the Small Things by Blink 182?
I'm gonna punt that one to Stephanie, who is of the three of us the youngest and experienced the least amount of the 90s. What is the best 90s jam and why is it not whatever that was?
I'm currently racking my brain for pretty much anything NSYNC because we jammed to NSYNC pretty hard when I was very small.
That seems fair.
Accepted.
Oh, this is a question that could like take a while. Where does Ansel get his knowledge of the military? Is there a particular website?
There is not. Yeah, so Ansel's knowledge of the military comes from the fact that Ansel grew up in an army town, worked on an army base, and then spent a little bit over half, well, not at this point anymore, but we'll say a third of my career working for the military. So I did communications work for the military and traveled around different bases for quite a while, worked directly with them. So it just sort of seeps into you when you do it. So all my customers were soldiers and airmen, and I spent lots of time with them. Lots.
Okay. This is a good question. Ansel. For the longest time, I have scratched my head about writing Canterlot Guard stories/scenarios. However, throughout my reading of your stories, you go as far as to apply rankings to your characters. Also, the level of violence, though I have not gotten far enough as of writing this, does not go too far in your stories. What advice can you give when applying world building to guards, be it simple or complex, and how can you control the amount of violence or harm that can befall characters without being too gruesome, such as getting stabbed, mauled, or anything that involves cutting flesh?
Okay, I'm going to punt this one over to Stephanie.
What?
Just.
When most of that went way over my head.
I think we just made the same, like, what face.
That was the joke, gang. All right, so these people are asking serious questions. Okay, so I think I have to break that down. That's too much in one.
Yeah.
So give me like start over again. Give me like the first part.
Well, it basically comes down to how do you write guard-centric stories and scenarios without it becoming gruesome?
Well, okay. So I mean, the first thing that you have to do is
Assuming that you are going to include violence without getting it
Res-
gruesome.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. So I mean, yeah, I mean the easiest answer is you don't include violence. But all right, so what I think people fail to understand these days is that sometimes insinuating is more impressive than showing. So at this point, I kind of challenge people when you think about this. If you watch horror movies from, say, the 40s, 50s, 60s, that era, they don't show anything. Like it's almost nothing whatsoever. It's all implied, right? The screen cuts away at the last minute. Maybe you see blood splatter harmlessly on a window, something like that, but you never see anything directly shown. And then modern horror movies are not horror movies, they're just torture porn. I mean, that's literally what they are. They're snuff films. They're as close as we get to snuff films with it not being real. And in a lot of cases, not all cases, because again, some people are doing great work, but in a lot of cases, there's literally nothing there. It's just shock and ick factor. So the question is you have to ask yourself, how does the violence serve the plot, right? Is it necessary in some way for your plot to basically explain that as Silent Knight wields his sword and cuts across a griffin, is it necessary to discuss feathers being split apart, the flank being torn open, and visceral pouring out? Crystal's looking at me like horrible, but I'm making an example. No,
I was also covering Mango's ears.
yes, it's not, right? It's not, because you get the point of the matter. So as you read farther through my stories, you'll see that the violence is very implied, and that's easy to do. Leave it to the imagination of your reader. Your readers are intelligent people with their own ideas, and if you give them just enough to hint at it, they'll fill in the blanks for as horrible or as not horrible as they want to do. So again, Silent Knight in Trials of a Royal Guard definitely kills a lot of griffins. But I would say in no case is it explicit. There's only one real somewhat explicit amount of violence, and that takes place in secret. Because again, at the time I was trying to make it very, very personal. So it had to be a little bit more explicit. So that would be my suggestion is, does showing gruesome violence serve your plot in some way? And if it doesn't, leave it up to the reader's imagination.
On a more lighthearted note, did you know that on Tuesday, the February 27th this month, IHOP is having a free pancake day?
What day?
Tuesday, February 27th.
We should all go. Stephanie, can we go before or after workout? After? We'll go get some IHOP.
Definitely a very good post-workout meal.
Yeah. A lot of carbs, right?
Yeah, and not a lot of anything else.
So would that mean we'd want to go before?
Sure. I think that'll sit really well in your stomachs as you run the stairs.
Definitely
Maybe
getting
after.
Fair enough.
I don't want to vomit on the stairs.
I don't either. I don't want you to vomit on the stairs.
Okay. Next question is Silent Night continued story when?
Fair question. Silent Night story probably not continued anytime soon, if ever. So for two reasons. So one, my ability to write time-wise has decreased dramatically, not my interest, although it's tough to say what interest is because I'm very interested, but I'm also exhausted most days. So the next story I'll be writing will be a sunny day story. I have a very clear scope that I want to put together, write out, and get done. And I also really enjoyed Sunny Days, so I'll be doing that next. Silent Night, at the same time, doesn't have a lot of story left that specifically pertains to him that I've planned. Not that he can't, and there are certain fill-in areas, but I don't have it anywhere on the docket right now.
Okay. Next question is, do you know Sparkleblade 1205? Her stories are awesome. And actually, Stephanie knows Sparkleblade 1205 because that was the troll fic that I wrote about the rain. Rain hates the snow.
I was actually going to say that sounds really familiar, and I have no idea why in the world it would, but yes, I remember that story.
We had a very nice, like, adult dinner where I wore a nice dress and Adam wore his nice clothes, and we went over to Stephanie's for dinner and she made chicken parm and it was amazing. And as part of that, I also read the Let It Rain on Christmas Day or whatever.
Yes, and so to answer the question, I do know Sparkleblade, and spoiler alert, we're having sex.
That was unnecessary.
I just wanted that reaction.
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
That's
Moving on.
That's a pretty typical reaction.
Alex wants to know what Stephanie thought of Let It Rain on Christmas Day.
I don't know if I could put my thoughts into words about that one.
That's a fair answer. Then it's the next arc of Beyond the Veil. Soon-ish, not really super soon, but likely, very, very likely. I mean, this year, definitely.
Oh yeah, no, without. I mean, it's just you got to get through your portion and then back and forth a couple times. But I mean, it's very well outlined and whatnot. It's just not that. Yeah.
The first drafts are not done,
No.
but it's getting there.
Yeah. Well, I spend a lot of time focusing on secrets, and Crystal. And Crystal's been working a lot on now trying to get that edited so that we can get it out book form and get it out the door.
Yep. My time is very small. Next question. How much do you like potatoes?
We eat a lot of French fries. I like pretty much most potatoes, but we don't have them a lot. But we have been eating a lot of fries lately.
There is a blonde joke related to this that I really like that I have probably told before. I know Stephanie, I told it to Stephanie the other day.
She's been telling it a lot lately, but
It keeps coming up. I don't
go for it.
I don't ask it to keep coming up, but it do. So as you can imagine, if anyone else is of the blonde-haired variety, everyone has to tell you their favorite blonde joke. So I'm sure you, if you are also blonde, have heard pretty much every single one. This is my personal favorite blonde joke. A brunette, a redhead, and a blonde are running from the cops after robbing a bank. They realize that they're not going to make it, so they pull off to the side of the road, dump out the money in the car, and climb into the now empty bags. The cop pulls up and he sees the bags and, this is kind of strange. So he goes up to the one with the brunette in it and he gives it a kick and she goes, woof, woof, woof. Oh, it's just a bag of puppies. He goes to the bag with the redhead in it, gives a little kick, meow, meow. Oh, it's just a bag of kittens. He goes to the blonde, the bag with the blonde in it, gives it a kick, and she goes, potatoes, potatoes. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's my favorite blonde joke. Ooh, I like this one. Flutter Priest, our beloved Flutter Priest, asks if you could change one thing about film fiction code-wise, as in any enhancement or bug fix, what would it be? I would remove downvotes.
Yeah. For the site.
I would just I
Yeah.
would just remove downvotes.
Downvotes have no purpose. They don't really serve any purpose. I would remove downvotes, or I would change it into an aggregate system instead of a separate system. I would like ats, so you could at people in blog posts. That'd be kind of cool. Kind of like Facebook.
Yeah, for me, like the whole argument about downvotes, it's like I read a lot of stuff on Archive of Our Own. They don't have downvotes, and the system still works. It works perfectly fine. I can generally tell from the description of a story or the tags of it if I'm going to like it or not. And goodness forbid I go into a story, read, a couple paragraphs of the first chapter and decide it's not for me, and then I just move on. It's okay. It's okay. There's no need to depress people with downvotes.
There's no reason to put that negativity into the world.
Exactly.
And also the other thing is downvotes from my perspective. I mean, the absence of upvotes is enough. There's no sense going in and crushing the dreams of new writers that are just starting.
Exactly.
Just
so
no
that'd be my enhancement. Alex wants to know how things are. Things are good. I guess that I don't know. Okay, so sorry, I was conferring with the husband to make sure that this was potentially a good idea. So I kind of mentioned to some folks that I would probably have an announcement for this live event, and I just remembered that I do. So folks that I interact with more regularly may know that I've been pretty miserable with my job situation. I am very excited to say that on Friday I had my interview. It went super well. It ended with the boss of who would be my boss, so basically the hiring guy, looking at me and saying, "I'm going to be honest with you. You've got the job." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, did this have to be a 2-hour interview?" Because it was a 2.5-hour interview. It was exhausting. So I do not have a formal offer in hand, but he said I would have it on Monday. So I will be turning in my resignation on Monday. I don't know what this will mean. I'm pretty sure I'm still going to be busy because it's a pretty important position that I'm moving into that has a lot of work to do. I'll be in a developmental leadership role where I will be in charge of other people's trying to get them coordinated on a team and trying to get a team put it together. But I won't be a manager. They won't be reporting to me. I'll just be telling them what to do. So, the best of both worlds. So I'll probably be pretty busy still. But yeah, thanks all. That's how I'm doing. So thanks for asking, Alex. I forgot to mention that. Stephanie also hadn't heard that yet, so.
Huzzah. All right, what do we got left on the forum? Because it's about time.
We got 2 more.
2 more.
What is whoever, all of us, favorite flavor of potato chip? For me, it's sour cream and onion Lay's.
I'm a potato chip connoisseur, and I've been through so many, and I love them all, and Kristen ruins them all. I would say probably one of my best.
Okay. Explain how I ruined them, because that sounds like it's an active, vicious thing.
It is. She's an active, vicious thing. So basically, my wife, through her mother's blood, inherited, because magic's real, y'all. So she has inherited this power where if somebody likes something that's anything but the most basic of things, it will be canceled or discontinued or stopped. So every time I find a chip or a cookie or anything I like, they stop making it. So the Lay's wasabi chips I thought were fantastic. I really liked those. The Lay's fried green tomato chips I thought were really good. But they don't make any of those anymore because of my wife.
Yeah, there's There's a very long list that my mother and I have put together of things that we have killed, and it's an astounding list. Magic is real. We are cursed.
Well, as a personal trainer, I don't admit this often, but my favorite chips are Flaming Hot Cheetos. They're pretty much the only chips I ever eat because I like all chips, but they're not, good for you in any way. But Flaming Hot Cheetos.
I think the count last of how many things my mother and I had killed off was we were at 28 things that we could think of. We're currently in a competition to see whose personal list is longer. I think I was winning last I checked. And last question, what is your opinion on erotic Star Trek fan fiction? Stephanie's face was horrified. I would love to see her face if I say erotic My Little Pony fan fiction. Somehow the Star Trek face was worse.
Horrified. Definitely horrified.
I have no opinion on erotic Star Trek fan fiction because I've never seen any, nor do I intend to see any.
Well, I will say, so Stephanie, you may not be familiar with this concept, but a thing in fandoms is that when you have a pairing that you like, you generally combine their names together. So, like, for example, people that are really into Sherlock and John Watson from the BBC series, it's John Locke. So things like that. Or Mycroft and Greg Lestrade is Mystrade. Well, the true fans are divided over Spock and Kirk. Is it Spurk or Cock? She just dropped her face into her hands. That's it, folks. Good night.
All right, well, it is time for us to go be punished by Stephanie in our workout for the rest of the day. Yep, unfortunately, got to keep it short and sweet today. Stephanie has some commitments, and we are behind on our workouts because we went on vacation and we've been lazy. So I want to thank everybody for coming out today. A video of this will be put up with, it's just audio, but it's on YouTube, whatever
No,
you want
it's
to call
got
it.
video. It's streaming the screen.
Oh, it's streaming the screen. There you go. That'll be up on YouTube, and we appreciate your time and coming out, and we hope to have some new things for y'all soon. So take care, everybody.